In my last video, I began addressing the issue of Genesis chapter 12 and God's promise to Abraham that he would give him this land. And I noted the fact that the promise of land was that through Abraham and through his descendants, God might bring a blessing to the nations. And I pointed out that that blessing to the nations actually came through Jesus. Well, this raises the question then, well, what about the Jewish people? To which I would simply say this doesn't exclude the Jewish people at all. But what we see in the New Testament is that Jesus defines the people of God as those who belong to him. In Mark chapter 3, Jesus then says, "Who are my mother and my brothers?" Verse 33. Looking around at those who were sitting around him, he said, "Behold, my mother and my brothers. For whoever does the will of God, he is my brother and sister and mother." This is why, as we noticed in our last video, in Galatians chapter 3, Paul says that those who are of faith are blessed with Abraham, the believer. In Romans chapter 4, that Abraham is the father of all who believe without being circumcised, that righteousness might be credited to them. And he's the father of circumcision to those who are not only of circumcision, but who also follow in the steps of the faith of our father Abraham, which he had while uncircumcised. When people quote Genesis 12 and says, "I'm going to bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you," in a New Testament sense, this is not applied to the Jewish people ethnically alone. It's applied to the Jewish people who are of the faith of Abraham. I argue this in great detail in my book, These Brothers of Mine. And if you prefer something shorter, then I would encourage you to look at my book, Land of Contention. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below.